Look, I'm not getting into this Jess Hilarious mess. Um, because there's a lot of hurt there. There's a lot of hurt and pain on both sides. Um, and enough has already been said about that. Here's what I will say. I am not, and shout out to Breezy Fox for broaching this point. If you're not following her, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But I am not allowing anyone else to define for me what it means to be a woman. One of my favorite works is You Can't Misgender Me. And it is essentially an acknowledgement that the construct of gender, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, are not objectively neutral ideas. And here is what I mean, because some of y'all are already like, but it means body parts. It means I have breasts and a vagina. No. And I'll explain to you why, right? So before this country was even a country, it had decided that Black women were not real women, despite us having all the parts. And not only did we have all the parts, our parts were being explicitly and deliberately and legally exploited. Our vagina, our breast were being exploited and misappropriated we had no autonomy, right? And what the law said is women need protection. You are not a woman. Women don't work. Now, obviously, this is not across the board everywhere, right? There were variations among colonies and then later among the states. But essentially, the consensus was that real women are not in the fields. Real women require protection and can be raped. And Black women, because we do not fit within the virtuous, pure, archetype of white femininity, are in fact not real women. And so we do not deserve the protections from rape. We do not deserve to be considered so fragile that we have to be taken care of. We belong in the fields. We can be worked like men. We can be worked like mules, and we can birth children, right? Because we are not real women. And so the idea that having a vagina and having breasts automatically makes you a woman has never been true in this country. And Black women have never been afforded the protection and the respect that comes with womanhood, right? And so any Black person that's invested in questions of liberation, that's invested in questions of equity, has to know that they cannot subscribe to the definitions of woman, the definitions of what it means to be a woman in this society, because that has never fully embraced us. And so if you're arguing with other people about what it means to be a woman and you're upholding the definition that you've never been able to fully embrace, that's a problem for you. That's not a problem for them.
I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop?
Listen, just the mess and everybody else that's in this fucking mess. Let's have some transparency here when we talk about this discourse between cis women and trans women, and cis women supposedly having some type of energy to gatekeep. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to gatekeep, but gatekeep the identity of womanhood. The cis women that have this discourse with trans women, you're not trying to gatekeep. It's not that you're trying to gatekeep. What's happening right now is the acknowledgement of the space of womanhood being so small, so fucking small, that it forces women in all to fucking compete. Women are forced to compete. That now you're competing for space in a box that has been designed by cis white het men that have determined the identity of woman. You are sitting here in agreement. You are sitting here fighting for fucking scraps in a box that doesn't even fucking exist outside of patriarchy. You're fighting now and listing things of womanhood and identity on your body, listing value and worth in things like your uteri and ability to menstruate. The things that they have listed make you valuable. It makes you valuable and worth the identity of somebody that can procreate. I mean, your uterus and your period. What now? You are placing your worth and value of womanhood on what you can produce for them, ability to menstruate, to labor and birth, and that's where you're placing your value in womanhood, and you wonder why they're trying to control those aspects when you have agreed to terms. So what you're actually doing in your transphobia, what you're actually doing by being transphobic, is you're being womanphobic, essentially, okay? And you wonder why they have their hands down everybody, wonder why they have their hands on our bodily autonomy. When you have agreed to terms and identity and value, you are sitting in a box that they have designed, fighting for your life, for an identity against others, fighting for scraps, a space that outside of that white lens is wide fucking open for trans women. And I'm always shocked and surprised of cis women, specifically black cis women, denying any other woman space in that box of womanhood, that not even realizing that that box that you have decided, box that you have agreed to terms on, or what womanhood is, denies other cis women themselves identity in that space, and specifically black women. I want you to know how counterproductive this is, because by standard of what that space is, this argument that we don't even fucking belong in that box. Space that these systems and structures of white cishet men have identified that you don't even fucking align to. They have deemed you not a woman, boo. Box that doesn't even fucking exist. A lot of women don't even fall into, don't even measure up to. I'll be damned if you find my black ass fighting in competition. I'll be damned if you find my black ass fighting in competition with other women to find space in a box that doesn't fucking exist outside of a white man's land, a white cishet man patriarchal system. And here you are fighting an identity to hold on to value systems and identities that the white man has placed that you, just the mess, and whoever else would like to, is fighting for fucking scraps in. Under a white man's system of fucking, like you said, delusion. Jess and whoever other cis woman would like to gatekeep. And you doing the job for master. That's his gate. You gatekeeping his gate, B. Trying to monopolize a box in space that doesn't fucking exist outside of what master said it is. You can go ahead and gatekeep, but just realize that's his gate that you gatekeeping for fucking free. And acknowledging his value system, acknowledging how he values you and your worth and identity. I'll be damned if I compete for fucking scraps in a box that don't exist. Be damned if you find me fighting any trans woman for fucking scraps of a white man's identity and value in me. Be free.